in order for third parties to work in the USA, or at least make some kind of dent in the federal level of government, is to have enough people rally around that, obviously, but there's 300 million people in the United States, and the majority of them seem that both the Republicans and the Democrats do the majority of Americans wrong. You know, and I do not understand why people, like, it's interesting how some people could say, like, well, I'm neither a Democrat or a Republican, but yet they'll vote for one of those two. Um, and it's almost like, to me, it's almost like an independent should vote. Because I myself, I am an independent, actually. But it would seem that that people should, if you're an independent, you should not vote Republican or Democrat. I mean, if you're really an independent, like, when I think of an independent, I, in my opinion, I think that would mean that you would not vote Republican or Democrat. Right? There's Republican, there's Democrat, then there's independent. Which can mean many, many things. And incidentally, USA mainstream media does not really discuss political parties beyond Republican and Democrat. Like, if you turn to Fox or CNN or MSNBC, ABC, or whatever, mainstream media on TV, you don't really get the fact that they don't really discuss it as other candidates besides like Barack Obama and John McCain. There's several parties that are running for president. There are the Libertarians, for instance. They chose a man by the name of Bob Barr, and they had their Libertarian Party debates here I think it was about a month ago, and it was not broadcasted at all on Fox, CNN, MSNBC, ABC that I'm aware of. I actually got to see that on C-SPAN, but they might have showed it like on like on NPR or other kind of non-profit media groups. But I bet most Americans don't even know who Bob Barr is. He used to be a Republican congressman on the federal level from Georgia. But he's running for president. And there's also a lady by the name of Cynthia McKinney. She's running for the Green Party. I wonder how many Americans have heard of her. And actually, the Socialist Party in the United States, it's www.sp-usa.org. They chose somebody by the name of Brian Moore. I'm not sure if he's related to Michael Moore or not. I'm not sure, actually, but that's the Socialist Party candidate. And so there's all different kinds of people who are running for president besides Barack Obama and John McCain. And like, I hear, like, a lot of times, like, I hear people, yeah, I'm independent, but I'm going to vote for either John McCain or Barack. Perhaps they feel like that in order to feel like that their votes, quote unquote, count, that they need to vote for somebody who is in one of those two people. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, to me, it's like I guess, like, again, like how I define independent. It's somebody who is neither. It's somebody who tends to, go beyond that kind of paradigm and find a political party besides those two, besides Republican and Democrat, that they can vote on. I've always been amazed by how they handle politics in Europe. Actually, it's quite different than the political systems in the United States. Whereas we have a bipartisan thing, Republican, Democrat, and then there's like the few, independent, very, very few. For instance, I think the only independent people in the Senate is Senator Joan Lieberman, and Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont and Senator Levers from Connecticut, respectively. Um, Senator Sanders is actually a socialist. He claims from Vermont. It's like I, for independent I, and then dash Vermont. But he's actually a socialist. And to my knowledge, he's the only socialist politician at the federal level. Um, and so, but I do think there needs to be more than Republican and Democrats in the especially in the federal level Congress. You know, um, over in Europe, they have several political parties in their respective. They have like parliaments over there. It's kind of different from like it's kind of like our version of Congress. They have parliaments. You know, but they have like four or five or more political parties representing their nation with respect to the UN, with respect to the European Union, excuse me. And I think that's something that the United States could adopt. Whereas a bipartisan Congress, there should be a multi-partisan with several represented. Because like over in Europe right now, like Europe's been relatively quiet, over the last, since World War II. They've kind of kept to their own as far as they're not causing any trouble, and instead they have many, many, many diverse opinions represented in their respective governments, and they seem to be doing just fine. I do not understand why here in the United States we can't have more than Republican and Democrats in Congress. Why can't there be like libertarian or socialist or green or other political party groups? I think that would really, really help bring about the quote-unquote change that people need. Now, Americans may disagree with one another on how those changes should happen, but yeah, change is definitely necessary. Like the whole Democrat Republican thing, that's really getting old. That's really getting old. Yeah. But, thank you.